Hey YouTubers, recently I took a 3-day motorcycle trip over to Niagara Falls, and this video is a quick overview of that trip. My wife Om and I planned on taking a trip to Europe earlier in the year. Unfortunately, she couldn't get her Schengen visa, so we decided to take a local trip over to Niagara Falls, a place she's never seen. Unfortunately, about a week before the trip, Om's mother fell ill and Om had to fly back to Thailand. The plan was to leave on a Wednesday after work and then drive halfway between Grand Rapids and Niagara Falls, which ended up being Port Huron, Michigan. Port Huron sits right at the US-Canada border, right across from Sarnia, Canada. The river that separates those two cities is the St. Clair River, and the Blue Water Bridge carries you over from the US into Canada. There is a toll that you have to pay when you cross that bridge in either direction. It's $3 US, or I believe $3.25 Canadian. I arrived into Port Huron about 8:30 at night. Here's a shot of the Blue Water Bridge that night from my hotel room. Here's a picture of my 1200 GSA in front of the Blue Water Bridge on that Thursday morning. The next morning I crossed the Blue Water Bridge around 10 a.m. and it took me about 20 minutes to get through customs. The distance between Port Huron and Niagara Falls is also 189 miles. One of the first things I noticed when I entered Canada was that the speed limit was about 62 miles per hour, which makes it about 100 kilometers per hour. On the way to Niagara Falls, there's a city called London. I decided to drive through and get a glimpse of the city. Once I left London, the traffic picked up quite a bit. As I got closer to Niagara Falls, the wind started picking up. So between the wind and the truck traffic, there was a great deal more buffeting, which made the ride really uncomfortable. I also had a death grip on the handlebars when I was crossing any bridge. The 420 takes you into Niagara Falls, and here I am, taking a right on Stanley Avenue towards the hotel. Once I found the hotel, I decided to drive around to see if I can find a good spot to take a picture of the bike in front of the falls. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a good spot, so I went back to the hotel and took this picture of the bike where it sat for the next couple of days.
21st floor.
I stayed at the Marriott Falls View, and if you're able to get a room in one of the higher floors, you get a great view of the falls. Once I got checked in, I decided to relax at the bar and have a local beer. The next morning, I had a $27 breakfast at IHOP. After breakfast, I spent a few hours walking around, exploring, taking lots of photos and videos. You'll definitely want to walk down Clifton Hill Street. It has a great carnival atmosphere. The next morning, I checked out, filled up with gas, and headed back. The plan was to drive back straight through 6 to 7 hours, about 360 miles. On the way back, I had a great view crossing over the Blue Water Bridge from Sarnia to Port Huron. It was nice to get back into the US and take advantage of the 75-mile-per-hour speed limit, which means you drive at 85 miles per hour. I'm thankful I made it back in one piece. Always nice to get back home. Now it's time to start planning the next trip.